What's up, fight fans? We are heading all the way to Sydney, Australia this weekend with some absolutely outstanding matchups. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland rematch world title main event. This is one you're not going to want to miss. And just for you, to make this fight night even better, I have teamed up with DraftKings to bring you all a great offer right now. DraftKings is giving all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after they place a wager for just $5. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings app. Do it right now. When you sign up, use the code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action. Use your $200 in bonus bets for same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. You can combine multiple bets together from the same fight. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy for a shot to win cash prizes. I want you to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. When you sign up, place in at least a $5 wager, use the promo code SONNEN. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis, one of the more fascinating press conferences of recent memory. So, first off, the expectation that Dricus and Sean have, right? When you have a press conference, you guys see it all the time, but you don't know who's coming. You don't know who's showing up. You don't know if Dana will be there. We're not revealed anything. One press conference and a different press conference and another. You got 20 people on stage. You got everybody coming for the summer. You got all the big fights that are announced. You got everybody on the main card. There's all sorts of different types of press conferences, and we don't ever know what it is until we're tuning in and watching. That's just not a piece of it that ever gets advertised. So if you go to a press conference, particularly in a foreign country, and you do it with Dricus and Sean and nobody else, I just want you to understand that visually. I really, every now and then a press conference is a piece of art. And art is open to interpretation. So, from a visual standpoint, when the cameras come on, Dana's up there, and there's only two seats, one for Strickland, one for Dricus. Okay, right away, there is an expectation, and there is evidence with the great marketing and PR team at the UFC that these two by themselves can carry this, right? Like all of the different press conferences we see, there's not some that are 20 minutes and there's some that are 35 minutes and there's some that are an hour and 20 minutes. They're all the same length. So you really do have two guys that have proven historically that they can carry the day. It's a big deal. When Strickland came out, he had a belt. Now, that makes me curious. I see him sitting up there with this belt. Dricus has a belt. Dricus is the champion of the world. Sean used to be champion of the world. So where did this belt come from? You guys remember the time that Conor McGregor went and took somebody's belt? You might remember the time that Chael Sonnen showed up with a belt. And I'm just curious where Sean's belt came from. A couple of different guesses, right? One, it was sat up there and shouldn't have been. That's a very fair guess. The world title's up, and look, it wouldn't make sense, right? But it could be. Did Strickland go grab the belt from Dricus? I don't think so. I feel like that would have been filmed more. Did Sean bring the belt because Sean believes he is the rightful champion? I think we're getting closer there, but I must tell you, I don't actually know. When I logged on, it was already there. And I'm very curious why Sean has that. Now, I like that shtick. Hey, I'm the world champion. Hey, I beat you. Hey, I should be the world champion. I'm into the whole thing. I just wouldn't think that Sean would pull that out after. Don't forget, guys, he's done 2 fights. He's done 2 fights since Dricus. It's very relevant. If he didn't do it then, it's very relevant that he chose to do it now. And I just want to know why. I'm just open to that idea. Now, Sean has a handlebar mustache. Is that what that's called? It was ridiculous. He got this big mustache, and I don't know what it means, but it was also a very thin mustache, which also comes with meaning. It's very different if a guy has a thick, hairy mustache or he grooms the mustache. If he works very hard to make it look to the audience like he did not work hard on it at all. And that's the kind that Sean had. And there's like a month where people do something with hair. It's something awareness month. They do something with hair. Sometimes they grow a beard or they trim their own hair. And was that what was going on? Because right now is Black History Month. Now, it could also be some other month. I'm just openly sharing for you. I don't know what it is. And Sean, I don't believe, would show up with a mustache without a meaning behind it. Now, I've set the stage for you guys. Let's get into it. This was amongst the nastiest press conferences ever. Ever. I can only think of one that trumps it. Colby, and I want to say Dricus and Sean were part of that. Leon, December, Vegas, 2 Decembers ago, so of 23. That's all I can think of. This was so brutal, and somewhere along the way, I believe it was on an episode of Joe Rogan, but I think it was the Joe Rogan program, and Sean tells the story about his father, his relationship with his father, and it's bad. The father did very bad things, and Sean had fantasies about shooting him in the head. One night, his father threatened that he was going to shoot himself in the head, and Sean's like, would you please do it? I mean, it's bad, right? I'm jumping around, but you probably know enough just by that. You probably know enough, and Sean had shared this. And fighters will use interviews, they'll use social media oftentimes as a counseling session. Sean Strickland does not generally do that. This was rare that he did, that he opened up and that he shared this. Now, we could all agree that we understand what Sean was doing there. We understand that the healing that probably helped with inside, or at least we would hope that it did. And we would also understand to never bring it up. No matter how public he made it. We know that, to not bring it up. Dricus brought it up. Dricus isn't the first one. This is the second time this has happened to Sean. But Dricus, see, and this is where the art comes. This is where the art comes. Dricus is a very handsome guy, but it's charismatic. So charismatic, I'm going to define, is handsome with the ability to communicate. Dricus can say something terrible and then flash a smile, and he's got these big white choppers, look like a row of porcelain urinals. His eyes light up. He looks like it's something happy was just said when it's the most brutal words that have ever been spoken. Dricus has an ability to do that and get away with it. Because he looks cool while he's at it. Now, Sean Strickland, on the other hand, Sean Strickland looks like a badass. Sean could come out and tell you something and he'd try to be nice, and you could come away thinking he was the heel of the situation. So, if you watch the press conference, for sure, you come away thinking that Sean was the bad guy, Dricus was the good guy. But if I asked you to prove that and qualify that, if I asked you to go line by line, phrase by phrase, sequence by sequence, and you tell me how many do you give a thumbs down to versus how many do you give a thumbs up, I'm not certain that Sean did lose that press conference. I'm not certain that Sean did come away the bad guy. It was brutal what Dricus was doing. But he has got an incredible way of getting away with it. So Dricus even tells Sean, I know all about what your father did to you. Your father's got nothing on me. Your father gave you a beating. I've already given you a beating. Talking about their first fight. Now, that is a hot line. I do not wrong Dricus for doing it. That is a hot line, and Dricus stayed within bounds. He flirted with the topic of child abuse, but didn't quite go there. He flirted with the topic of an assault, but a sanctioned cage fight isn't that. He flirted with a beating, one that keeps a guy up at night and could torment his entire life, versus what he did, and he's saying that his is even more. Your dad was weak compared to what I did to you. It's one of the nastiest, inappropriate, mean-spirited The objective there was to hurt, was to cause hurt. It was a mean-spirited thing to do. But Drekus looked handsome doing it. And he smiled, and then he laughed and says, "Oh, I think I've hit a nerve." Which, again, is a very G-rated thing to do, but there is nothing they'll send to get over the top more than that. Have you ever had somebody when you were growing up, and they go, "Oh, are you going to cry? You're going to cry? Oh, my God, look, he's going to cry. He's going to cry." Have you ever had somebody do that to you? Because you'll get so frustrated when you're not. You're not about to cry. You don't even know why he's saying that. You will get so worked up that sometimes you will burst out crying. And doing the whole, "Oh, I think I hit a nerve." It's that same vein. It was nasty. This press conference was so brutal that it was time for Dana to just wrap this. Like, we got it. These guys are going to fight. These guys want to fight. These guys need to fight. It's like, we got it.